nothing like the sound of Carolina hoofbeats. Riding down the trail under a big blue sky and pine trees. Sitting high in the saddle, nothing else matters. My feet in the stirrups, I'm so happy. There's nothing like the sound of Carolina hoofbeats.
Hi, we're in Pinehurst, North Carolina for the Harness Racing Matinee. This is a once-a-year event. We're going to get to see 8 races today with 5 horses in each race. And it's kind of a new thing for Carolina Hoofbeats TV. It's my first time here at the harness race. So I hope to take you behind the scenes and show you a lot of action, and you'll enjoy this just as much as I do. With me now is Allison Hines from Cumberland, Maine. And Allison is actually going to be driving in some of today's events. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing today.
Well, we'll come out and exercise the horses and expose them to all the new tents and people, and then we're going to go back to the barn, and they'll kind of catch their breath, and we'll be coming back out for the races. We'll go behind the starting gate. They'll actually parade first, and with their numbers, and they'll announce the horses' names and the driver and owners, and then we'll go back and we'll go behind the starting gate, and we'll actually race a mile. Okay. Generally, it's a controlled rate because these are young horses. They're all 2-year-olds. We don't want to go too fast with them at this point. They're just in training schedule. Right. So.
Are they friskier today because it's cold and windy?
Cold and windy, and there's a lot of new excitement here.
Definitely, definitely. I know after it being like 80 yesterday, today's a big change.
It is, and the wind will pick up, and they've got all these tents and people.
Be a lot here to eat them today.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of activity.
That's for sure. Well, good luck in the races today, and thank you for coming by and talking to us. And I'll be cheering for you.
All right.
With me now is Mike Metters from Ohio, and Mike has the barn that you see in the background here, and his horses will be racing today. Mike, tell us a little bit about harness racing. What made you fall in love with it?
When I got out of college, my fraternity brother had some harness horses, and I was going to get a teaching job, and didn't really like that too well. So
yeah, it hardly compares.
So I went to help him a little bit, and it wasn't a year or so before I was, on my own. And I'm a little bit unique in the fact that I've never worked for anybody. I've always done all this on my own. And that's been about 40 years ago.
Right, that's a pretty good track record in itself.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for that long, and harness racing is, we just, we come down here to break our 2-year-olds, bring them down as yearlings in the fall, and we spend time breaking them, getting them accustomed to the jog carts.
Right. When is the racing season that you're actually racing?
Actually, the racing goes on year-round. I've got a stable of horses that I've got my brother running them up in Pennsylvania at the Meadows, and then when I get back up, I go back to Scioto Downs, which is in Ohio, and the season for the 2-year-olds, they'll start racing somewhere in the middle of June, and they'll race until October or November, some of them. And then you turn them out and then start all over next year.
Is it basically a 2-year-old, 3-year-old type of event, or do older horses run?
Well, no, that's what the older horses are the ones that are racing. They're up there racing right now.
Okay.
They got classes for every kind of horse. Most of the 2-year-olds we have down here are for stake races that we pay into, and they go for the bigger money, and the big money's in the 2- and 3-year-olds, and then if you get the top-notch ones, they go for big money for a long time. So
right.
And we've had a few down here that's turned out pretty good. So
all right.
So it's a good place to train. The tracks are very good, well kept. This year's been kind of tough because the weather's been tough on everybody.
I know, it's been misery.
Fighting the weather all year, but all in all, it's a real nice place to come and train and get young horses ready to race.
Well, we're really glad to have you guys here, and I'm so excited about today's race. I can hardly wait to see it.
Yeah.
Every year in October, the Pinehurst Harness Track comes to life as trainers and breeders return, bringing their entourage and all their hopes and promises for next season's winners. Let's take a peek in one of the barns. As you can see, it is filled with equipment, making sure that everything that this horses need so that they can be successful is met, from their grooming to their feed routine to their exercises. Everything that they could possibly need is here. The horse's care, safety, and comfort are of utmost importance. The staff, handlers, groomsmen, and stablemen look forward to the season as a time of intense work, challenging days, and a pride in knowing that they help to mold tomorrow's winners. Since the 1920s, Pinehurst has been known as the winter training facility for standard-bred trotters and pacers, known everywhere in the world as the place where champions are made. Days begin early here, starting with the break of dawn. Horses are groomed, harnessed, hitched, and ready for a morning run. On those morning runs, they are checked to make sure that their gait remains consistent and ever racing with the clock to see if they can get that time down to make them true contenders for the next season. Then it's back to the barn to be unhitched, cooled down, bathed, blanketed, and fed. One of the handlers that we met told us that he had raised this particular horse's daddy and his granddaddy, and their bond was obvious. The matinee races here in Pinehurst today are loads of fun, and so is all of the tailgate and stuff that you see going on behind us. There's a crowd of about 5,000 people when we get started, so we're going to have lots of fun today. Stay tuned for more.
People from around the Triangle come to Carolina Barbecue of Garner off Highway 70 because they know what they'll get. Authentic Eastern North Carolina chopped barbecue, Southern fried chicken, hush puppies, Brunswick stew, and more. But did you know that they'll come to you? For your next backyard party, company event, graduation party, weddings, rehearsals, or any other occasion, you bring the people, and Carolina Barbecue of Garner will bring the pig. Call 773-0222.
Follow me to Carolina Barbecue.
This is Paul Dunn from Mule City Feeds. We've been delivering horse feed to Eastern North Carolina since 1981. And not only have we been delivering it, we've been leading the industry so far as compliance with state North Carolina and giving the best quality product possible. We test everything that comes in from the local farmers. We do quality assurance and we deliver the product. Give us a chance. Your neighbor's giving us a chance. We'd like to have your business here at Mule City Feeds. Also, when you deal with the big feed companies, you might have to wait 4 or 5 days just to get the feed. Give us a call and you'll be shocked. We'll deliver in an hour.
My name is Scott Brookins, and I am the owner of Brookins Construction and MD Barn Master of the Carolinas. At MD Barn Master, we have the best warranty in the business. We have a variety of designs to choose from. Our barns are easily customizable to meet your needs. We have financing available to those who qualify. Our barns are fire resistant and they hold their value with little maintenance. Let us build your dream barn for you today.
We're going to call and post the horses coming onto the track for the second race, sponsored by Aberdeen Supply, Gordon Corey's Institute.
With us now is Polly Maller from Maine. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience here at Pinehurst and how you think it'll go today?
Well, I've been coming here for like 25 years, and the matinee's always been a good day. You know, hopefully the weather will cooperate. Looks like it's going to. And, you know, it's for the people, really, of the village, and they come out, they enjoy it, and it's a good experience for the horses, the young ones, and you know, hopefully everything will go well.
So everything in the matinee today is a 2-year-old?
Yeah, I believe they all are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be all new experience to them, the crowd, you know,
right.
everything. So.
How many horses do you have today in the race?
I have one race of my own with 5 in it. I believe it's the 6th race.
All right. That sounds exciting. And will you be bringing your 3-year-olds to practice too, or do you just train
not
the
today.
twos?
The 3-year-olds, we had them out early this morning, you know, before all the activities started.
Okay.
So they've already been out and exercised for the day and put away. So
All right.
it'll be the same routine tomorrow. So
Okay. Where do you race mostly?
I train off a farm in New Jersey, do a lot of racing in Harris, Chester, in Pennsylvania, some at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, go to the Meadows, which is south of Pittsburgh, some, and Pocono Downs, mostly a little bit of freehold in New Jersey. So
Okay.
right around that area.
All right. Well, we're glad you're here this week,
All right.
and looking forward to seeing you race this
Very
afternoon.
good.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thanks.
Here they come.
With me now is Gates Brunet from Ottawa, Canada, and you're here today to race some 2-year-olds?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about the standardbred horse? We don't know a lot about that horse here.
Well, standardbreds is like a very versatile breed. You know, it's a very calm horse and very easy to train. And we gate them and teach them to race. But later on, they have careers in as driving shows and equestrian and stuff like that. So it's a very popular breed right now.
And do you raise your own horses? Do you buy prospects, or how do you go about finding the perfect horse for racing?
My particular situation is we race 2- and 3-year-olds. So we go to the sales and buy yearlings and develop them, and they race them at 2 and 3 in stake races. We keep some more age horses, but most of the time not. And then most of them we buy at yearling sales. Lexington, Harrisburg, and that's what we do.
And what is a stakes race exactly?
Stake race is a race specifically for horses that have been made eligible, and they have certain criteria, and age obviously is one, sex is another, and you know, you'll have sire stakes program for different states, like New York Sires where I race. We race mostly predominantly New York Sires races, but you have Ontario Sires, New Jersey Sires, all these, and then you have open competitions where you have big races everywhere, like the biggest one's the Hambletonian, they race for $1 million, and Meadowlands Pace, you know, and big races like that. So if you happen to have one good enough, then you can go all the way to the top with them too.
And are they predominantly stallions or geldings or mares, or does it matter?
I mean, you have geldings and studs and fillies, but we seem to always end up with about 2/3 or 3/4 fillies, you know, and we do better with fillies, you know.
Right.
So, and they're cheaper to buy as yearlings
Sure.
too, as studs, you know, so more of them.
Right, definitely. All
Tougher
right.
to train though.
Yeah, I can imagine. They have that girl thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing your race today, and I wish you good luck, and thanks for spending some time with me.
Great.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
With me now is Keith Gisser from Cleveland, Ohio, and Keith is with the Harness Horse Youth Foundation, and this is a great way for kids to learn how to do these wonderful driving events. So you want to tell us about your program?
Sure. Harness Horse Youth Foundation is an organization that provides camps and workshops for kids, all different ages, different programs designed to different groups depending on their age. Some of them are 1- and 2-day programs, some of them are 5-day overnight camps, full, runs the gamut as far as horsemanship. Working with trotting breds. Now, trotting breds are a breed of horse that's a little bit smaller than the standard bred that races here at Pinehurst, but they're the perfect size for youth to work with.
Right.
And over the course of a camp, the children get a chance to work, learn how to groom the horses. Obviously, they learn how to clean stalls, which is where you start when you have horses, as you well know.
Absolutely.
And they also learn all about equipment. They learn about safety. Safety is really a big thing. And the coolest thing in my mind about it is that each participant actually gets a chance to drive a horse accompanied by a licensed trainer. We have special 2-seat carts. So if you kind of imagine a driver training car, the driver is there to help out, but the kids get a chance to actually jog a horse and so on, and it's just a great experience. We are based in Indiana, but we're a national program. HHYF does programs in about 15 states every year. We really want to make things accessible. We do need to cover our costs, but we have a great group of sponsors, and they really help support what our mission is.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for spending time with me, and I'll be looking forward to seeing a camp here in North Carolina soon.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Looking for the perfect bed and bail? From the moment you drive through the gate, relax and enjoy all Hawks Crest Manor has to offer. Whether you're coming for a wedding, a family reunion, a trail ride, a weekend away with the girls, or from a busy, bustling meeting in the city, make our house your home. Located in Spring Hope, North Carolina, minutes from downtown Raleigh, Rocky Mount, or Wilson. Schedule your reservation today.
We're your neighborhood source for everything you need from your farm to your home.
At Harper Sales and Service, a division of Harper Landscaping, we can cater to all your mowing needs. Whether you need to start out with a beginner series for those smaller lawns, you can work your way all the way up to a zero turn and even get into those bigger areas where you might have an acre or two or more.
My animals depend on me, and I depend on Harper Equipment Sales and Services to keep me running. From my weed eater to my tractor, they can fix it all.
When you look for Harper Landscaping, it's no sweat.
With me now is Steve Maher from New Brunswick, Canada. And Steve is a driver.
Yes.
And he's had about 5,000 wins under his belt. So I wondered if you'd tell us what it's like.
It's very exciting. It's a long process getting into the racing. You know, you have to start out like cleaning stalls and brushing horses and walking them and so on. And then after you get used to it and so on, you get somebody to give you an opportunity to get on and maybe jog a few a little bit. And then after a while it builds up to maybe training, and then you just go from there. Some people like it, and most people like it. And once you get into the business, you'll never get out of it. It's one of the things you just fall in love with. I've done it for 45 years. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's just great.
So when you're coming down the track and other carts, do they pass you and you're racing?
Yeah. When you're in a race.
Hopefully they don't pass you, but.
Yeah. When you're in a race, sometimes you have to play a little bit of strategy, let somebody else maybe do all the work and you sit in behind them and maybe outbrush them. But some horses are different. They like to race on the front, and then they'll challenge the horse when it comes, and it's they're all different, just once you get to train the horse, you know what his best attributes are, so you just have to race them according to that.
Right. They have like weanling and yearling sales that you go and pick them up? Or?
They have a big yearling sale in Harrisburg, and they sell over 1,000 horses there every fall. So we usually go there and maybe buy a couple, and my owner that I train for and drive for, he has a little breeding farm, and he breeds some, and there's other sales around too, but usually Harrisburg or Lexington, Kentucky are the two biggest sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's really cool. I can only imagine what it would feel like to have one of those in your hands, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different than when you're sitting on their back. So.
I had a friend of mine come over from Charlotte, and she just had saddle horses and so on, but she came over to visit for a few days, and I took her out on the track, just sit on the side with me, and she thought that was the greatest thing in the world.
I can only imagine. I mean, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with our audience. With me now is Nancy Fiorillo, and she's the mayor of Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Proudly.
And tell us a little bit about the harness track and what it's meant to the community.
Well, our village, previous councils, chose to purchase this track and the other track because a developer was going to develop it into condos.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, it was, the council then was so insightful, and we never really knew what benefits it would bring, but it has been such a pleasure. And this particular group, we have a lot of horse shows here and a lot of events, but this particular group, the Pinehurst Driving and Training Club, they come here every year and they spend the winter with us.
Right.
They, sometimes you're at a meeting at the fair barn and you're trying hard to concentrate, and there goes one of the trotters going by. It's amazing. And there's economic impact, and there's also, they are actually a big part of the charm and history of our community.
Right. And they've been here since 1915?
This is the 65th anniversary.
Wow.
So yeah, I think you did the right math.
That's right. That's wonderful. Well, this is our first trip here today, and so we're really excited to be here.
Wow.
And hopefully we'll educate folks about harness racing and make them all be able to come next year.
I'm just so glad that people are coming and really just joining in and having a great time and really saying goodbye to them until next year.
Right. That is sort of sad, isn't it?
Well, it is.
It is.
Okay.
But what a great event. We're looking forward to it today.
Thank
you
you
for your
very
time.
much. Thank you.
This now are three of the local horsewomen. Lydia, tell us a little bit about what you do with your horses.
Well, I go to this place called Horse Shadow Run. I'm riding Western, about to go into English. And I mostly ride Appaloozas and Palominos. And sometimes when my sister is riding and I'm not, I'll go feed the horses and help out some.
All right, what about you?
Well, I also do it at her barn, horse shadow run, and I ride English on a horse named Rocket. He's the one that's crazy.
I ride Comanche.
All right.
He's a grumpy old man.
Yeah, and I just help out around there, and I do birthday parties and many things.
Okay, and do you ride?
I'm a snowboarder.
A snowboarder, okay. All right then, well thank you ladies. The day after the matinee is the qualifying race. In this race, every prospect is ran with officials from the Harness Racing Commission monitoring and timing them. This will determine which horses can qualify for the upcoming matches around the country. Those matches are racing for money, racing for a purse. We are so lucky to have the Pinehurst harness track here. This is the 1 mile clay track behind the track that they ran on yesterday. The track itself is home to 300 stalls, multiple paddocks, a restaurant, and a meeting hall. The facility is available for rent in the off-season. Well, the races are all done now. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'm sure that if you listened really carefully, you heard a lot of Carolina hoofbeats in the background. We'll see you next week. With us now is Amber Need, and Amber is the North Carolina Quarter Horse Association's reigning queen. So Amber, tell us a little bit about you and why you decided to be part of the Quarter Horses pageant program.
Okay, well, my name is Amber and I'm 24 years old and I'm a resident of Newport, North Carolina. So I'm from Eastern North Carolina, where there's usually not a whole lot of quarter horse stuff happening, but this is my quarter horse right here, Little B Cutter. So because of her, I got involved in AQHA and eventually NCQHA.
As the North Carolina Quarter Horse Queen, what are some of your duties?
As the queen, my duty in North Carolina is to, of course, attend as many NCQHA events as possible. So I will go to as many shows as I can, definitely the state-sanctioned shows, the ones that are put on by NCQHA. And then I'll also try to make it to as many district-level shows, too, because our districts do a lot of horse shows and events. So I'll try to be there to be a representative. I'll wear my crown and my sash, help pass out awards. This past weekend, I was at the District 5 Endless Summer Show, and I was a ring steward in the arena with the judge, so I try to help out and volunteer at the horse shows. But I'm also there as an ambassador and as a role model for the youth that are coming up through the program. So my goal is to hopefully get other girls who are showing quarter horses interested in this program to do it also when they get old enough.
Very good. So you were lucky enough to grow up on a farm, which is really cool to have all these animals.
Yeah.
So that put you into the 4-H programs as a child, is that right?
It did, and actually we did not have this farm, and I'm sure it's hard to hear over top of Abraham. As you can tell, we are at our farm, but and he is ready to go out in the pasture. But we didn't have this land until my dad retired from the Marine Corps. But I've been involved in 4-H my whole life. I have 2 older brothers, and my dad was a 4-H'er, so when they were born and we got a horse for them to ride, I was really young when we got our first horse. I was 2, I think, when we bought Traveler. So they got involved showing Traveler at the 4-H shows, and my parents became 4-H leaders. So pretty much I was brought up in the organization. At 4 and 5 years old, I was begging to do all the things that the teenagers are doing because it was so cool to see my brothers do it. So I grew up doing a lot of the leadership, community service, and citizenship aspect of 4-H, as well as showing horses. And as I got older, I got into the livestock. So after my dad retired from the Marine Corps, because of my involvement with the livestock program, it led to my parents' club members being involved too. So we ended up buying this, and this is where we did our 4-H projects. And now, since I've aged out, it's turned into kind of like an agritourism hands-on business. But that's where it started. So from about middle school on, I have grown up in this atmosphere, and I love it. I wouldn't change it.
So if you were going to give advice to our viewers, perhaps their children, on where to start to get involved with horses in their life, what would you say?
I would definitely say to start by going to Cooperative Extension, finding your 4-H agent, learning about the 4-H opportunities they have, and if it is horses that your kids are really interested in, find a barn to get them started in riding lessons, and then try to pull the barn into a 4-H club. 4-H just has so many opportunities that are right there, ready and available if you just say yes.
Right.
And a 4-H agent is the first place that you could go to get the horse record books, to do horse presentations, to show. There's horse shows in 4-H, so all kinds of resources from 4-H, and also as well as the breed organizations. Like AQHA has a youth organization, and NCQHA does too. So other breed organizations also have youth components. No matter what kind of horse you have, there's always something there.
And a person doesn't have to necessarily go out and buy their kid a horse. They can put their kid in these programs and kind of see if the kid's going to be interested and if it's worth that purchase.
Exactly.
Right?
And my mom does lessons out here too with our older horse. So that's exactly what we do. We try to see if the kid is ready to ride and was really interested into it, and then the parents take it from there. They either keep coming back or they end up getting their own horse.
So now that you're the North Carolina reigning queen for quarter horse, how long does your reign go, and what happens after that, or do you have other things you can move on to?
Well, the reign or the title happens for a year, so I'll be NCQHA queen for a whole year, and the contest is designed for girls who have already aged out of the youth program to still stay involved.
If people want to get their kids involved in the North Carolina version of the quarter horse pageant, how would they go about that?
Well, the best way that I would say to get started is if you have a youth is to definitely go ahead and join NCQHA and join AQHA. Get involved in the youth program.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The North Carolina Horse Council was established in 1972. We are a nonprofit organization that puts every dollar received back into supporting and working for our members. We are a volunteer organization that is supported by people just like you, with passion and energy.
So why don't you stand beside me, come and join the herd, and be a member of the North Carolina Horse Council and take advantage of the many benefits that it has to offer you and your horse, and let's ride the trail together.
Hi, I'm Sue Gray with the North Carolina Horse Council. I wanted to talk to you about one of our very special events, the Southern Horse Festival. The Southern Horse Festival is an annual event that the Horse Council does where we try to involve open shows and all people with all different breeds to come enjoy and have a place to showcase their animals. This year we do have something very new we've combined with the Carolina Summer Circuit. These are our saddlebred and we're providing an academy show. Now let me tell you what an academy show is, because it's open to all breeds, not just saddlebred, but any lesson horse or any training program or student in a lesson program can come enjoy those classes and compete with people of the same skill level. So we think that will be a lot of fun. One of our prime sponsors for that is Equine Savings, and we have a lawnmower for the trainer who brings the most people to that event for their award, and we just have lots of great prizes, and we hope that you'll join us November 21st through the 23rd at the Hunt Horse Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Carolina Hoofbeats is brought to you in part by Newcomb Quarter Horses. Newcomb Quarter Horses with over 40 years experience. Find out how we can help you today. NewcombQuarterHorses.net. And also by Carolina Hoofbeats Magazine, a free publication about the horse industry in North Carolina. Catch up on the latest issue at CarolinaHoofbeats.com. And also by Southeast Equine Magazine, a free publication about the horse industry in the southern United States.
Sitting high in the saddle, nothing else matters. My feet in the stirrups, I'm so happy.